Hi, to introduce myself, I am Praveen, an Associate Professor in the Department of Computer Science and Engineering from KCG College of Technology, Chennai. In this video lecture, you are going to listen to an introduction to service orientation and how a shift is made from object orientation to service orientation. Many years back, when I wrote my first software project, I used a language called BASIC, which is Beginner's All-Purpose Symbolic Instruction Code. The entire software project constituted only a single program. If I want to spot an error in the software, it was very difficult. I did not have sophisticated drag and drop tools, a programming environment, or an editor, etc. Even if I wanted to draw a box, I should write a loop to draw a box. It was really very cumbersome in those days. And I did my second project in another language called Pascal, which was named after Blaise Pascal, a famous French mathematician. Even in that language, the entire project constituted of only a single program. We call this as monolithic programming. In other words, it is procedural programming. Later, we introduced the concept of structural programming, where we try to divide the entire problem into so many subtasks. We call those subtasks as functions in some languages, we call them as subroutines, we call them as procedures, etc. C is a very good example of structural programming. The entire idea behind the structural programming is to decompose the entire problem into manageable units which are extensible and reusable. And that was, of course, successful. And later, we introduced the concept called object. Say, for example, I am an object. As an object, I have a name, I have some attributes, and using these attributes, I deliver certain functionality. In the beginning, we had only object-based languages. For example, we had ADA, initial versions of ADA, initial versions of Visual Basic, Fortran, Formula Translator 90, etc. In these languages, the concept of objects and classes is considered only as a data structure, and nothing more than that. And after some time, we introduced the concept of object orientation. Of course, encapsulation was there already. We introduced polymorphism and inheritance. Java is a very good example of object-oriented programming language. Though C++ is not completely object-oriented, I can say it's hybrid object-oriented. For example, C++ does not support certain object-oriented concepts, say persistence. And these languages were very supportive in writing efficient programs. And later, from object orientation, we shifted to service orientation. Now we need to have a very clear understanding of what is the need for making a shift from object orientation to service orientation. For instance, take this example. I am an object. I belong to a class called teachers, and I inherit certain attributes possessed by that class called teachers. I am an instance of the class called teachers. Now I have a name, I have certain attributes, and using these attributes, I deliver certain services or functions or simply some roles. For example, take, I have a throat, I have a mouth, I have a tongue, I have an esophagus, everything. Therefore, what is the service that I could offer with these attributes? I can speak, I can deliver a lecture. Now take another instance, another person who can also sing so well. He is also having a throat, a mouth, a tongue, etc. And he could speak well as he can sing beautifully. Now if you ask me a question, the first object, that is myself, also possesses the same attributes, but why can't you sing properly? Then I will explain, of course I can sing, but that music may not be so desirable as you expect. Then I will try to explain the person who can sing though he or she has similar attributes, there is some kind of arrangement that is made inside by God himself. Therefore, we should have a clear understanding. In object orientation, we believed that when an object has certain properties, using those properties, we can deliver certain services or functions. But now, it's very clear that mere possession of the attributes alone cannot guarantee a desired function. I repeat, mere possession of the attributes alone cannot guarantee a desired function. It is dependent on how these attributes collaborate in order to produce a desired function. Now let us try to understand in what situation do we require the service orientation. In the present scenario, we wanted to have business globally across the internet, which is a distributed environment. It is not a homogenic system, it's a heterogenic environment having a mesh topology with a variety of software, a variety of networks, a variety of protocols, and everything loosely coupled. In such a scenario, if I wanted to execute my business, I need the support of an efficient way of programming. For example, I am having an industry that is, say, a car making company. I would like to collaborate with companies that make tire. I would like to collaborate with companies that make glasses. I would like to collaborate with companies that make seat covers. Now I want to expand my business globally. So I am sitting in one computer with an internet connection, and I would like to establish my communication across the world, across these companies that offer different services. Therefore, there are services, or in simple terms, functions that are executing in my own computer, and similarly they run in different computers. This is similar to how a musician runs a music show or an orchestra. Each instrument has a role to play. The notes are very clear, where I should start and where I should stop. And the details of the music that I need to play is also given well in advance. When all the instruments are played together, the entire thing becomes a beautiful song, and we call it as orchestration. Similarly, here too, programs in different computers need to collaborate and later orchestrate. To make this very simple, I will tell yet another example. Take an object tree. The object tree offers different functions. I will let you know two functions that the tree offers. Number one, you can cut the bark of the tree and make furniture. The tree can offer shadow. Now take one instance, which is banyan tree. The banyan tree can offer shadow, but I cannot make furniture out of its bark. Say take another example, teak wood. Of course, I can make furniture out of the bark of the teak wood, but it cannot offer shadow. Now let me show something that's very interesting. Kindly observe this picture closely. In this picture, you can see a tree which offers a highly desirable function. Look at the bark of the tree, it is taken from the teak wood. Look at the branches of the tree, it is taken from banyan tree. Look at the leaves of the tree, it is taken from the neem tree. Look at the flowers of the tree, it is taken from jasmine. Look at the fruits of the tree, it is taken from the tree that offers jackfruit. Now this particular tree can offer multiple services because it has been collaborated in a very appropriate manner. A tree that can give its bark for making furniture, a tree that can give its branches to give shadow, a tree that can produce fruits that are very sweet, a tree that can produce leaves which has medicinal values, a tree that produces flowers which are of good fragrance. This is not possible naturally, but in an environment where we have B2B, that is business to business, and B2C, business to consumer applications running across the internet, we want programs to collaborate like this, and we want to tailor our own desired functionality. And this is how the true need for service orientation arises. I think in this video you can get a clear idea about what is the need for service orientation and how we have made a shift from object orientation to service orientation. Thank you.